I'm Bookkeeper, and I'll be playing the Reverend Dr. Alexander Hutcheson, the Avalon Scholar.
I'm Clara Allison, and I'm playing Lucia Di Felici, the Vodace Straga.
Hi, I'm Glamour. I'm playing Viviana Lucani, the Vodace courtesan and daughter of Sophia.
Hi, I'm Overthinker. I'm playing Alonso Hernandez, the Castellan swordsman on a quest.
Hello, my name is Typhoon, and I will be playing Heinrich von Groth, the Isen war veteran.
And I'm Bloodied Porcelain. I'll be your storyteller for the evening.
One of Lucia's friends is dead. She told them to leave the city, but it makes sense that they stayed. The money made here during Le Emperor's birthday is too good to ignore. I know well that the Straga leaving home always leaves bodies in her wake, but Lucia had not yet seen it so close. I don't know whether or not it would be better if I could have shielded her from seeing such things. And Alonso has quite possibly signed us away to the Inquisition. Apparently they are unavoidable in Castile. Apparently, it is also unavoidable to pen down the intimate and heretical details of your person's company and then lose the letter upon which you wrote. He made a mistake in losing it. Writing it down was not a mistake. Alexander forgives him for signing his death warrant. It is something we must simply move past for now, for the sake of the party. For the sake of the Imperatrice, for the sake of the Order. It doesn't matter. Life is often decided by the passing whims of men. What's one more whim? What's one more man? I will not kill him.
So, over the past, probably about day or so, half day, Heinrich's staff has been working mightily at preparing his home. At some point or another, Sémø has also sent over a fair number of servants from her own home to help bolster the effort when she realizes how few servants Heinrich actually has. And kind of, within a few hours, this, obviously Montaigne, because, all of the furnishings and everything came with the house, home becomes ever more so. It kind of gets transformed. The providing of the silk flowers, those get woven into big bouquets of real flowers from Montaigne. They're kind of in every what do you call them? Every bouquet, every centerpiece. They feature as many as they can. There aren't enough to do full bouquets of just Edelweiss. But there are enough of them that they are pretty unmistakable to anyone who actually pays attention to the bouquets. The girls are their preparations are overseen by their maid, but it is a couple of ladies' maids that Sémø provides that do most of the work of the actual getting them dressed, doing their hair, doing their makeup, because they are experts in Montaigne fashion. At least because Sémø is frequently the one who sets the current fashion trends. So they are done up to the nines. I would like to know what last minute preparations any of you are making.
Mostly just glowering.
Viviana is definitely in the thick of the party preparation and helping to direct where things need to be, where things would look the most presentable. That's definitely what she's been doing.
Alonso has requested that someone help him find better clothes.
And by help
Like-
him find better clothes, you mean Lucia actually finally pay him so he can go out and buy better clothes?
Yes. Yes, that is roughly what
Yeah.
I mean.
If Alonso notes that he's going out to buy better clothes, Viviana will ask to come with him.
Declined.
So you're going out alone to go shopping?
May I accompany you, Senor? I need a new coat myself.
Certainly.
Lucia will take Viviana because Lucia just needs to have a dress altered. She's not going to buy a full new one.
Yeah, and then I'll go out and pick out something fashionable, but not like, garish or overly attention-seeking. I'm not the main piece here. I don't want to pretend.
I feel like you have wildly underestimated Montaigne fashion.
Okay, garish by my standards, subtle by theirs.
Okay. Then I would like, in that case, to hear from people about what you are doing as the party is on the verge of kicking off. Like, people are starting to arrive in their carriages. You can hear the bustle of a crowd in the foyer as people begin to filter in.
Start of the party. Alonso is, I think, straight up. He's going to find like a high point with a view of where the carriages are rolling up and just clock the guests and check them off a list.
Okay. Alonso doesn't know that many people in Montaigne society, so how do you propose to be the one to do that?
Great point. Don't have their pictures.
No.
Did we possibly get a list of the people who respond s'il vous plaît?
I am sure Sémø could have provided that, and the answer is that basically everybody who has gotten an invitation. So anybody who is worth inviting and isn't an immediate enemy to her has been invited. The royals have not RSVP'd, but they never. But Sémø says, number one, anyone who expects the Emperor to show up to a party at a relatively unknown nobleman's house is going to be in for disappointment. And two, even if they do show up, they never tell you that they're going to.
Cool.
Yeah, the Emperor is always invited everywhere, just by virtue of,
Being the
being the
Emperor.
ruler of the country.
Yep.
Okay, instead of knowing who I'm looking at and checking them off a list, we have a doorman for that, and I'm just keeping an eye out to see if any of them give him trouble, if it looks like anyone's trying to gain entry.
Okay.
Basically, that's the first place a problem could happen, and my job for now is to ensure that problems don't happen.
And Heinrich will also ask you to keep an eye out for any infiltrators, such as those people that we fought in the alley, in case anyone such as that tries to sneak in.
I have not stopped looking since that day. Should it come up, by the way, the fellow with the 2 scimitars is the first target.
Agreed.
Cool, so
At
that's
the
what I'll do.
At the start of the party, Viviana, the musicians have already arrived, yes?
Yeah, they were around for like an hour and a half before start.
Viviana is probably with the musicians, asking if they plan on playing any songs where having a singer accompanying them would be nice.
You are informed that they have their own singer, but if you have someone in mind, they are welcome to join in if a song comes up that they know.
Okay. Well, thank you. I shall see fit to join you then.
They are polite, but you get the feeling that this is a very business-like thing for them. They are not as relaxed or happy to be here as they might be other times. We could really use the money.
That's understandable.
And Heinrich, as would be polite, is going to be in the foyer kind of greeting people as they arrive.
Excellent. Some things to be aware of, because this is the first time any of you have actually seen with any amount of like real time. I think Alonso might have bumped into a couple of them very early on in the season, but this is the first time any of you have really gotten to see or meet any of the performers. Among them is a man who is nearly as tall as Heinrich at 6'3", with with thick brown hair and a shockingly red beard and a thick Highland brogue. He is kind of broad-shouldered, very obviously from what's the word? Lesser means in his birth, but charming. And if he is put in a position where it seems like somebody is lacking for conversation or maybe needs to be entertained for a little while, he kind of immediately kicks off into a story that, as simple as it is somehow it's one of those moments that makes you feel like you're the only person in the room who matters. And it's very easy to get caught up in the way that he tells his stories. There is also a male Montanian with dark hair, who has that kind of svelte, like gymnast or dancer's build, and who carries a lute. And there is a blonde woman with a very clear Isen accent, and a kind of musical voice, who is with the two of them. They all kind of behave and move and work in a way that makes it clear that they have been working together for a very long time, and they have that kind of like unspoken communication a lot. But it is almost like watching a group that watching a person who has lost a piece of themselves and is still learning how to operate without it. During the preparations for the party.
If I assume this is not that Lucia would have had that really awful awkward moment where she wants to help them, she wants to like sort of fall into that habit, the habit of like setting up with them, and I assume they're probably not going to be willing to let her.
It isn't so much that they don't let you as they just actively avoid you if they can.
Yeah, that's what I guessed.
It is never immediately rude or anything like that. If you were to go over and try to talk to them, they would pay attention to you and respond. But it would be very polite, very formal. You are their employer, not their friend.
Yeah, I think getting the message, Lucia spends as much time as she can as far away from musicians as possible.
Okay. So we have Heinrich is greeting people as they are let past the servants taking everybody's invitations. Alonso is watching the door, kind of playing security a little bit. What are Viviana, Lucia, and Alexander doing?
After speaking to the musicians, Viviana probably goes over to not help Heinrich greet people. She doesn't want to give the impression that she is with Heinrich in any sense. But she will, after Heinrich greets people, she sort of goes over and indulges them in conversation, talking about the goings-on, being her usual charming self, helping sort of get conversation started.
You would be what in formal party term is referred to as a puller, being kind of talking people, chatting them, and moving them away from the door so they don't clog things up.
Yeah.
Excellent. Alexander?
Alexander, kind of knowing his role for the evening, will station himself in the central hall for the party rather than anywhere near the greeting area, and basically there to take the handoff as Viviana pulls them in. And in addition to being the witty, charming company that he has been commissioned to be, Alexander is going to challenge the Montaigne against one another in a little game, with a story of an Avalon princess who gave a bard a ruby ring, and it was true love. It was all very romantic. It was all very incredible, and whichever one of you can give the shiniest, most expensive gewgaw to the musicians tonight, well, that would be a feather in your cap, wouldn't it?
Okay. God, I have no idea what I would even make you roll to try and do that.
May I suggest wits and scheming?
Sure. Let's go with
it. Difficulty.
It is Montaigne nobility, and they are kind of always constantly trying to one-up each other. So 15 standard.
Okay. Do I get my pretty die?
I'll allow it.
Okay, then I will take 3 raises.
Okay.
Ugh. And I will end up spending a lot of drama dice because my dice just went, nah, we're napping.
What did you roll?
I've rolled a 13 so far. All right, so I'm at a 13 presently. There we go. That's a 23. It's a 25, so this will be my second drama die spent. It's a 27. There we go. That is a 34.
All right.
3 drama dice down.
How many are you at now?
7.
Y'all have been banking your drama dice, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Okay. You are able to kick off a little competition among a group of, let's say, 6 nobles. I was going to have it be 3, and then you added 3 raises, so you're getting an extra noble for each raise.
Perfect.
Where they are going to be trying to one-up each other by giving the best gift to the entertainment.
Perfect.
I love that you have not at all warned the entertainers, so they're going to be a little confused.
Yep. Why are we getting jewelry?
Lucia?
I think after allowing herself some time to sulk, Lucia's decided she's still a Felici. So she has not parked herself, but she is ensuring that if there's someone who even is considering a beverage, they have one in their hand, not in a like servant way, but in a like, oh, I just happen to have a second glass. Would you like one?
Okay. Are you introducing yourself as a member of the Felici family?
Good question.
Because you're in a weird position because you have gone by your cover name a lot, but also you sort of said your actual name at the last High Society event you went to, out loud in front of a room full of people.
Ugh, is it possible to roll like a gossip roll to see how bad that is? Like how
So I'm not going to make you roll for this. This is less about what is good or bad, and more about what you're trying to get away with. Like here in Montaigne, it's not illegal to be a sorceress or be a struggle on the run. This is mostly about how much risk are you willing to take that word gets back to people in Vidace.
I think she's using Julieta.
Okay. So we've decided to be careful about what name is likely to go around and get back to Vidace, knowing that there could be some confusion and some whispers and rumors in Montaigne because some people have used you use another name.
Yeah, I'm willing to deal with the weirdness rather than the chance that someone in Heinrich's home is a person who is being hunted. For sure.
Okay. We will see how that goes later, I suppose.
Don't be cryptic.
That's my job. All right. Some things to be aware of. Diane and Sémø are planning to make a fashionably late arrival. Because Diane is basically meant to be the centerpiece of this whole party. Her and Heinrich, so they're going to give Heinrich time for a lot of the guests to arrive for him to establish himself as the host. And then Diane and Sémø will show up and be the belles of the ball sometime after most other people do. In terms of others who are there, Heinrich's daughters are both there. The youngest has largely been they're both kind of being corralled by the maid because they're like, let's let people have time to filter in, and then you can show up when there's like a group and you'll be like properly, introduced to society instead of just like downstairs and hovering where people have time to adjust to your presence before there's like formal introductions made.
I would add that the dog is secure upstairs on the second floor of the house.
For now. You have no way of ensuring that stays that way. But you have given your orders, and so far your daughters have your youngest has corralled the dog into their room, and there is a servant who took the dog out shortly before the party started, so that they could relieve themselves without doing so on the carpet. Eventually, Raoul shows up. He does not have a date or anything on his arm. He simply shows up on his own, looking dashing and charming. And as soon as a drink is presented to him, he takes it. And if one isn't presented to him, it doesn't take him long to find one.
Straight up seeing someone Lucia knows-ish, and also enjoys wine, she'll beeline for Raoul.
Mademoiselle?
Buonasera. I figured you'd want one of these.
Yes, please. And he takes the one that you offer, and immediately takes a sip. I see Sémø broke out the good stuff.
It is the best one in Vodace, and probably all of Thea.
I suspect that there are people who would argue that point, but I am not here to fight on their behalf.
I'm hoping there's no fighting on anyone's behalf tonight.
There isn't. I will be disappointed.
Really?
All the best parties have at least one duel for appearance's sake.
Should we have planned a duel?
No. You plan them, everyone can tell. Though, a lack of bodies being carried out might not hurt you at all. It is a double-edged sword, so to speak.
Well, if you deem this party to be an utter disaster, be sure to pick a fight with Alonso.
He would lose. Are you sure you want me to send your companion home in a box?
Well, if it saves the evening.
He kind of lifts his eyebrows, but almost salutes you with his glass.
Lucia just hides a smile behind her fan.
So tell me, anyone interesting showing up tonight I should be aware of?
The hope is the Empress will.
Really?
See, I feel it.
And why would you want her to show up, I wonder?
She's Vodachan, is she not?
She is, but she's also, something out of a recluse. Does not go out much.
She is, but I am nothing if not hope incarnate in so many ways.
You have, sincerity, yes?
I do.
I would like you to roll me sincerity, please.
And
Panache? Or a wits, one of the two.
Merowitz.
I said or a wit, so yes.
Oh, I forgot to ask for the target
No, it's
number.
okay. This is a
Contested.
contested roll. So he has to beat a 20.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I think he can tell that something's up. He doesn't know exactly what it is, but he knows you're lying.
I'm actually okay with that.
All right. At a 38, 35 or 40 if we're or 35 if we're rounding. Good lord. Numbers are hard. Words are also hard right now. He takes a long sip and just sort of eyes you over the top rim of the glass, but doesn't say anything. You will, of course, save a dance for me, yes? I heard that there are, what are these, dance cards? Some
See.
Avalonian thing?
See, and I'll show him mine and show him how to fill it out if he'd like to.
He will put his name on your card. It would be a crime were I to fail to have a dance with the prettiest girl in the room.
Grazie, signore. Thank you.
And he will make small talk with you if you want, or he will wander off to allow you to mingle with others.
Actually, I will ask him one other thing. I will make small talk for a while. May I ask you a small favor?
Perhaps, if it is within my power to give.
I did not have a chance to see the guest list before this event. Would you mind just introducing or just giving me a few names as they pass us?
I'll do my best. Is there anyone in particular you are looking for? This is already becoming a press of humanity.
Not anyone in particular, just to get the lay of the land, and then when it is filled, and when the dancing starts, we can distract ourselves in other ways. It's literally just how she's going to make small talk with him, and also so that I have a background.
Okay. He will do so. For the most part, he sounds like he finds most of these people incredibly uninteresting, so it isn't going to be easy for you to pick out who's actually important. But he will give you names as people pass by, pointing out. On occasion, he'll point out some juicy bit of gossip, or at least gossip that might seem juicy to somebody who doesn't have any form of reference for what is normal juicy gossip in Montaigne, and is happy to make conversation with you. And on occasion, when somebody wanders over to join the conversation, to help you keep them entertained. Heinrich.
Yes.
How are you greeting people? What sort of vibe are you trying to give? Or are you doing the tall, stern, imposing Ison thing, and not really trying to give any particular vibe other than I'm very uncomfortable?
No, he's trying his best. He's trying to be, friendly and welcoming, and greeting everyone in a friendly but respectful manner.
Okay. Can I get panache and etiquette?
You may. What's the target number?
We'll say you are very out of your element, so I'm going to say your target number is 20, to give a general positive, not embarrass yourself at all. You can take raises if you would like to create a particularly positive impression.
I'm not confident enough in my role to do that.
Don't you have a pile of drama dice?
I do.
Okay.
22.
All right. You are able to keep from embarrassing yourself and make a general positive. Nobody's gonna walk away annoyed or mad at you for right now. You're not the most overtly friendly, and are certainly not what they are accustomed to, but you have managed to keep from falling on your face socially. So that's something.
Well, I'm assuming that they all think I'm a foreign barbarian / country bumpkin, so, call to victory.
Country bumpkin is probably the way that they think of you, and they're not entirely wrong. By comparison to people who live and operate in Montaigne society, most people are country bumpkins. Alrighty. Viviana, is there anything in particular you would like to do other than just be charming and pull people from the door?
As the night goes forward, she will probably be one of the first people who gets people dancing.
Okay, that's a ways off. This is people flowing in, so I just wanted to see if... I'm not making you roll because I know what your fucking dice pools are. You're gonna blow any target I put in front of you out of the water for simply being charming. So that's not hard. At some point, there is a break off where Raul kind of wanders away from Lucia for a bit, and you do get a name added to your dance card. It's his. But he doesn't try and take up a lot of your time because he could see what you're doing and what you're busy with. But he also sees there are a number of men who are getting their names put on your dance card because you are nice to them when they first walk through the door, and you're pretty. So.
When Raul puts his name on her dance card, she'll probably just reach over, give his hand a gentle squeeze, and give him a sly wink.
Okay. As I said, he adds his name to your dance card and tucks it into your palm, and then wanders off to allow you to continue to greet the guests. Alonso, is there anything else you want to do? Like the procession at the door. These are people from pretty high society. It doesn't seem like anyone is looking to start a fight at the door.
Okay. Yeah, as it looks like, as things are getting moving, and like a bunch of the guests have arrived and everything's going smoothly, I'll just like do a walk around the outside, check the windows. Alonso's expecting trouble, and he's just like, yeah, is this secure? Is this secure? All the rooms like away from the party, everything's okay. And then I guess go down and hang out.
Okay. You don't find anything out of the ordinary. Both Jame's family, but I should say both Jame and Heinrich have both provided some amount of security. So it's not like there's a lack of people keeping an eye on things. And as usual, you do see
Gunther?
Yeah, you do see Gunther, who has kind of is kind of interfacing with people. There is an increase in the number of what do you want to call it? The number of musketeers who are making the rounds nearby.
Was that a thing we asked for, or is that a coincidence?
It seems like it doesn't even seem like it's a coincidence. It seems like this is just a thing they do when there are a lot of very important people in one place.
Okay. Probably not, but do I see anyone that looks like Lightning Guard?
No. That is the king's personal guard. You're not going to find them out here.
Okay.
Unless the king is also here.
I was thinking maybe they would foretell the arrival of the Imperatrix, but never mind. If they're the king's personal, then they're not who we're looking for anyway.
They might show up if she shows up, but so far that hasn't happened.
Okay. Yeah, I'll head in, grab a drink, smile, nod, chat some people.
Alrighty. A little bit of time goes on, and it's probably about an hour and a half into people arriving. People have kind of settled in. They're mingling, chatting, having a decent time. When the carriage for Jame and Diane begins to arrive, or does arrive, pulls up out front. It's one of the last ones to show up. Gunther gets your attention, Heinrich.
And I will go to the door and be there to greet them when they enter the house.
Diane gets out first. She is in an absolutely stunning kind of bluish, a bluish purple dress that kind of brings out her eyes and makes her hair, which is dotted with a mixture of montane roses and those little silk flowers, so that it sort of, sparkles and offset, but also kind of a little bit matches what your daughters were planning to do, as a way to kind of incorporate all of you as a family of sorts.
And
Or at least future family.
Heinrich, takes her hand, does the kiss on the knuckles, and says, "Lady Dan, you are absolutely stunning. Thank you for coming. I'm honored to have you here in my home."
She gives you a sweet smile and slides her hand into yours. Sémø climbs out after her. She is wearing red and slashed with some gold and some white. Again, she's kind of that picture perfect montane noblewoman. But she is happy to let you two to kind of take up the air in the room, so to speak. She knows that it's only going to be a matter of time before all eyes are on her, so she is happy to step back and let you two walk in on your own. You are able to walk in, and when you do, there is a lowering of the volume of the music that's been going on. Like one of your servants may have given the musicians a signal, and they kind of drop just how loudly they're playing, which wasn't like crazy loud by any stretch, but they lower the volume a little bit. And numerous heads kind of turn towards you as you walk in, with the daughter of one of the most powerful women in the city on your arm.
And Heinrich smiles, stands up straight, and walks in to the room as if, yes, it's totally appropriate that everyone should be staring at us.
Excellent. I would like you to roll me panache and etiquette again.
Okay.
This is mostly to see how comfortable you are. So I'm not going to set a target number. You've already made a decent impression on people that you're an okay host. This is mostly about how do you carry off being in front of a bunch of people.
$19.
Okay. Would you like to use drama die for that?
Actually, can I use my reputation die for that? So I do have one of those that I always forget about.
You do have one of those, but that's not what we're going for. This
Okay.
is about how comfortable you are, not what your reputation is.
Yeah, why not? I guess I'll throw in one.
You'd be using reputation if you were trying to do a little bit more social maneuvering, but this is mostly about impressions.
Okay, 25.
All right, very good. Diane is kind of, honestly, Diane with her experience, if anything, only helps you. She is quite accustomed to being one of the most popular and witty people in the room, and dressed to make an entrance. So you get the feeling that at the very least everybody seems relatively well impressed, or at the very least nobody is already whispering So you don't think that there's a lot of gossip immediately kicked up the second you walk in the room, which is good. An improvement on what you have heard about possibly happening at Montaigne parties. It is shortly after this happens, Sémø enters behind you. There's kind of immediately a little flurry of activity as people who you get the feeling are accustomed to kind of following in her wake everywhere she goes. Kind of, fall in around and behind her. But she's doing a masterful job of giving them what they want, which is just enough attention to show that she knows that they exist, but not so much that she takes too much of the spotlight off of you and her daughter. Out of character, there would have been a conversation between you and Sémø at some point where she would have asked if you wanted her to make the the more formal introduction about you two as a couple, or if you would prefer to do it as you were the host.
Well, she being the mother of the bride and the ruler of the province, probably she would do it.
Okay. She's the ruler of a province that is on the other side of the country.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
But she's...
I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any real control here in Shrews.
Yeah. But what I mean is in the pecking order of, medieval feudalism, I answer to her.
That's fair. All right. She kind of gives a little bit of a nod to one of the servants as she is passing by. Like, she doesn't even really look at her. She just gives this very faint movement of her head as she walks by. And the servant turns and disappears into a side room, or into a side door that leads to one of the servants' staircases and hallways. And about 5 minutes later, your daughters show up at the top of the stairs, and one of the servants introduces them, much as you and Lady Diane and Sémø were all introduced at the door. A number of heads turn that way. You know what? In this big of a crowd, I'm going to say you don't immediately notice it. You don't immediately clock it, but anyone who is looking for it, anyone else who is looking for it absolutely does. There are multiple young men whose eyes kind of settle on Nicola and kind of drink her in appreciatively. Nicola is in a pale blue gown, trimmed in like cream silk. It's very pretty, and flattering and eye-catching without being gaudy and over the top. And she has a number of those little white flowers dotted throughout her hair, which, sorry, go ahead.
In this circumstance, what Heinrich is paying more attention to is how Diane reacts.
Diane gives a little smile, but she doesn't give any overt reaction. Was there something specific you were looking for or hoping to see or not see?
Just to see how she reacts to seeing Heinrich's daughter, who's basically the same age as her.
Oh, yeah,
she
doesn't
like
seem
annoyed
fazed.
Or
she doesn't seem fazed. She comes down as she is introduced. Your youngest comes down as she is introduced. She's in her own dress. It's not, it's obviously a dress meant for a child, not for a woman. But it's pretty. And she does a piss poor job of looking as comfortable as as Nicola does. Nicola looks perfectly at home all dressed up. Like maybe she's been practicing this. I'm going to wear these clothes that I'm not accustomed to, and I'm going to descend the stairs, and I'm going to be very graceful because that is how I should be. Your youngest, on the other hand, looks like she would happily be out playing with her dog, or upstairs, away from all of the frivolity, but does her best to smile through it. As these introductions are happening, and as Sémø begins to maneuver herself into a position where she can introduce the newest additions to the Sisay family, what is everybody else doing?
Viviana has definitely turned her attention to Sémø. She definitely did that when Sémø entered the room, but obviously Sémø is about to make an announcement, so Viviana returns to... Sémø and Diane, are they sort of the last people to arrive since they were coming fashionably late to be the belles of the ball?
Yes. As far as you are aware, if anyone else shows up, they are going to be quite late.
All right, then Viviana has stopped her puller duties for the evening, and she is as Sémø was arriving, was probably in the process of sparking a debate between intellectuals or pseudo-intellectuals.
With who?
With people.
Just like general people in the crowd, or was there someone specific you were looking for?
With general people. But is there a sort of role I could make to sort of ascertain who in the crowd among all of these nobles looks like they believe they are the smartest person in the room?
All of them?
Oh. Yeah, should have seen that coming. Then anyone will do. She's sparking a debate between people who believe they are the smartest person in the room, so she can make backhanded compliments at them.
Okay, so you are doing your best to pull a Sémø and be witty.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Let me look at your sheet. Let's go with panache and oratory, I suppose.
All right then. Target number?
We're gonna set this at a 20 because this is bread and butter for anybody who was part of Montaigne High Society. The more raises you take, the more scathing you will be, but it is worth remembering from the rumors that you guys have heard about things that can happen and the damage that can be done to reputations following parties like this. If you there is occasionally pretty nasty fallout if you are too heavy-handed.
Then I will just take one raise.
Okay, so we're going for a 25.
25 exactly.
25 on the dot. All right. You are able to be witty and cutting, but are able to deftly maneuver, not being too brutal about it with anyone. So you are reasonably certain that you are not going to do irrevocable harm to anyone's reputations yet. You will leave that sort of cutting up to the wit herself, I suppose. Alexander?
Alexander is kind of going in the opposite direction. In that he's just happy to talk about his favorite subjects, which is almost everything.
People are very interested to know about your books, especially the fart book.
He is happy to talk about the fart book, to make a variety of bad theological puns. And to generally talk smack about the Vaticine Church.
You find that they are all quite eager to do that. They all sort of deftly avoid getting into any real theological conversation. And you are wise enough to understand that is because they have to be careful. Because basically the only acceptable thing to say about the church is something negative. On the risk that it ever gets back to the Emperor.
Then my risk for tonight is I'm going to quote multiple famous historic theologians, and not always negatively.
Oh boy. Okay. Would you like to give me some ideas of what exactly you're doing, or what? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be anything crazy specific, but what sort of stuff are you talking about positively?
In specific, talking about the history of the Vatican Church in terms of its development of science, of reason, of learning. That there is no Grande Université without the Order of Saint Victor, the monks who founded it.
Fantastic. Go ahead.
Yeah, something, things in that direction, to recognize that the general flow of the argument is that Theos even loves his mad and salacious children like the Montaigne, and it is not they who have wandered away from his grand design, but it is the poo-poo heads in the Inquisition.
Noted. Okay. We'll see how that goes as the night wears on. As that happens, Sémø makes her way over to the staircase so that she can kind of stand up and above people. She is handed a crystal wine glass, and a little spoon, which she uses to tap the side of it to get people's attention. And the whole room turns towards her as Diane kind of without making it look like she's leading, kind of leads Heinrich over to stand near her. And Nicola picks up on what is happening and corrals your youngest over at the same time. As everybody kind of arrays themselves at the bottom of the stair, Sémø sort of looks out over the crowd and gives a charming smile. Monsieur and Mademoiselles, I would like to welcome you to our party. It is my pleasure to introduce my future son-in-law, and she kind of gestures towards you, Heinrich. Lord Heinrich von Groth, all the way from Eisen, and looking to make my Diane a honest woman, eh? And Diane kind of gives a little half coy smile, and fans herself politely. And then she proceeds to introduce Nicola, and I am blanking on your youngest name for whatever reason suddenly. Mila. She introduces Nicola and Mila, talking about how pleased she is to have her family grow by so many so quickly. There are questions from some of the folks in the audience asking about when the wedding is, and she goes, we have not picked a date yet. These things take time to plan, and I would never accept anything other than the very best for my Diane. So we will take all the time that we need. There are the occasional witty barbs thrown in here and there, especially when people ask questions or call out something from the crowd. She tends to address her barbs towards those people. At the same time, she manages to, again, make them feel like they are important enough that she knows them well enough to insult them, and insult them in a way that makes everybody chuckle. And eventually, it gets to the point where it is clear that, clear at least to her, that you are working to seem as at ease as you are. And that if people keep staring at you, that might stop. And she kind of lifts up her glass and says, "To love," as she smiles over at you and Diane. Everybody else lifts their glass and echoes the sentiment.
As does Heinrich.
Does anybody in the room not do that?
Of course, I do.
Yeah, Alexander absolutely raises his glass.
All right. Everybody drinks, and she kind of lifts a hand and waves almost dismissively. "Now go and enjoy the party. We spent a lot of money on it." And everybody again laughs and turns to begin mingling, and you could feel the kind of formality of it all, and the everybody is like holding their breath and waiting for things to happen. Part of things kind of dissipates, and people begin to relax. Those of you who are in circles of conversation can immediately feel that things get a little bit more at ease. People are mingling a little bit more. Obviously, they're not constantly watching the door. Sémø is immediately kind of crowded by a bunch of people who want her attention. Diane looks up at you, Heinrich. "The party's beautiful."
Thank you, my dear, and no small part thanks to the efforts of you and your mother.
It was mostly Mama. I gave my opinions where they were wanted, but she is a force of nature when she is planning things.
Now, however, I do need your help here tonight. Would you be kind enough to introduce me to those people that I should speak to?
She kind of scans the room. That could take a long time, but I will introduce you to who I can.
Thank you, my dear.
All right. As the party kind of gets a little bit more formal, a little bit less structured, or a little bit less formal, a little bit less structured, and people begin to disperse to go to go about doing things that they would like to do to be more social. What is everybody up to?
Viviana
so-
definitely... Oh, you can go ahead.
Okay. Heinrich is going to, stick close to Diane and make small talk with whoever she thinks is important enough for him to talk to. He's going to kind of do the best he can to be, witty and charming with her with his newfound 1 point in diplomacy. He never once mentions economics or international trade.
Surprisingly. Okay.
Unless one of the guests brings it up first.
Okay. I will say that one of the first people you get introduced to is a man named Pierre Flaubert Dudor, who you recognize the name from is related to Alonso's Sylvia. She kind of whispers to you on the way over that he is the current patriarch of the family, which is shocking because he's a pretty young man. And she kind of explains that they are they have recently become one of the richest families in Montaigne, and thus are quite important.
Yeah, Heinrich will greet him politely and, engage in party-appropriate small talk.
Excellent. Alonso, what are you doing?
So the official event has started. Still no sign of the Imperatrix.
Not yet.
I'm gonna... Two things I'm looking for. First, Sylvia.
Mm-hmm.
Second, assuming the Imperatrix is keeping a low profile and maybe sent someone in her stead. I guess trying to pick out someone who is trying to be picked out.
Okay. Well, Sylvia takes a little bit to see, mostly because there's so many people here. The first, one of the big things that you all realize is that this house was not designed for this number of people. Sémø, when Sémø said, "I am inviting anybody who is worth inviting," she fucking meant it. And because she is so important, most of those people showed up. So it takes a while to find anyone you are specifically looking for if they did not if they did not arrive early. Sylvia and Pierre did not arrive early. They arrived kind of not quite at the tail end, kind of smack in the middle of the crowd. And by the time you find Sylvia, she is in a little huddle with a slightly older man. And I do mean slightly, he's only a few years older than her. As well as, and they are talking to Heinrich and Diane.
Yeah. Walk up and say hello.
As you walk over, Sylvia kind of, her eyes kind of pass over you for a moment, like she takes you in when you first walk over, clearly like taking note of the fact that you are better dressed this time than the last time she saw you. And she gives you a polite smile and a curtsy.
Mm-hmm. Polite smile. I think I'm going to spend this conversation kind of talking up Heinrich and I, or kind of talking him up specifically. In fact, I'm trying to think of an appropriate story I could tell about Heinrich doing something cool in the time we've been hanging out. Is there any form of adventure I could retell to these people that would make Heinrich look?
I mean, you have experienced the same adventures that he has since the game started. So unless you want to make something up.
Yeah, but my mind immediately goes to the crime we committed. And I'm trying to think of something else.
Yes, please don't mention any felonies.
I'm not going to give you the answers, Boo. You're going to have to come up with how you want to approach this. And once you do, you let me know and we'll make a roll and you can tell the story in character. Alexander, what are you doing?
As the building itself gets crowded, Alexander will sort of migrate, leading anyone who's listening to him out into the courtyard, where he will give the 10-cent tour. And here's where Herr von Groth practices what he's going to do to people who speak inappropriately to his daughters. And generally being witty, but also once he has people outside, he can also integrate talk about astronomy and the stars and the sky.
Excellent.
Generally, just being the gabbing fool that he has been commissioned to be this evening.
Excellent. Very cool. I have a question.
Yep.
Who is planning to be the Strega? Because right now, both of our ladies are in the party.
Well, we were hoping to get a look at the Imperatrix first because we needed a height reference.
Okay. All right. I needed to double check because I was just like, when is that gonna happen? All right, cool. Viviana, what are you up to?
Viviana, does not go and flock Sémø immediately. But as she looks at Sémø, I will ask one question that I have not asked yet, which is Sémø a hero, scoundrel, or villain?
She is a hero.
Good to know. And as she will continue her own conversation, being witty for a bit, and then will politely, after an appropriate amount of time has passed, will then wander over to Sémø, and perhaps after she has finished giving someone a backhanded compliment of her own, will ask Sémø a question pertaining to history, Montaigne history, a subject that they discussed before but didn't really get to go in depth about. Just something to let Sémø show off her intelligence and perhaps give her something to engage with that doesn't require her to be the Emperor's wit.
Okay. Let me look at your sheet. This is going to be a multi-step thing. Do you have cold read yet?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I would like you to roll me wits and cold read.
What is the target number?
We're gonna put it at like a 20.
Okay. Oh my god.
That's a lot of 10s, Boo.
Yeah, that is.
You gonna re-roll those?
Oh yeah, totally.
So that's a 28 plus 7 is a 35. Yeah. So Sémø, the first thing you notice when Sémø begins to talk with you is that she is answering and engaging in conversation, but she is doing it at a very, very surface level. Like she's barely interfacing with the history part of the conversation. And it takes you a couple of minutes before you realize that Sémø might be an intellectual and she may be really interested in these things, but these are not things that she talks about in public. This is not a part of herself that she shows in this sort of situation. You get the feeling that her being the Emperor's wit does not necessarily mean that she is meant to be the most educated person in the room so much as the cleverest.
I see.
She is protecting her intellect and how many people know about it.
Okay. Well then, Viviana didn't ask like a super in-depth question. It was just something that could have potentially gotten a conversation started. Once she realizes that this is a part of herself that Sémø does not display publicly, she will switch to just engaging with her, not to just engaging with her and the others in the crowd from a more surface level wit perspective. She's definitely not aiming insults at Sémø because that seems like a reputation death sentence.
Yeah, it's not a great approach.
No, that's not what she's doing at all because she has a will to live. She is more so playing off of Sémø's words and just like adding on to them a bit. And perhaps not necessarily taking aim at people in the audience, but adding on to things. Adding her own spin on words.
Okay. You notice that Sémø absolutely takes aim at people in the audience. Anybody who comes over to join into this conversation comes in knowing that at some point they are probably going to be a target. So she is happy to get into this little like dance of words with you, where the two of you are kind of bouncing back and forth and not necessarily taking shots at each other so much as what's the word? It's a little bit like watching two comics who are used to doing crowd work, but working together. That's a little bit how it feels. Except that you guys are much more charming and much more appealing and interesting to deal with than most comics are.
I did decide what I want to go with, story-wise.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and tell them a version of our being attacked in the night that doesn't include actual people dying. And if I can imply that there's more going on to get Sylvia interested, that's also good. Because I know she loves gossip.
All right. I would like to know how you're going to tell this story, because that's going to tell me what to have you roll.
Sure. Yes, Heinrich is a gentleman, a man of considerable honor. And I cannot deny a man of martial skill. His reputation is, well, I certainly hope no one here gets to see it. In fact, not that long ago, several of us, I was staying in the outer city at the time. We were on our way back from enjoying one of the more local taverns, and were stopped in the street. They could not see Heinrich at the time, as they would surely not have dared approach. Yet they did. Blades drawn, strangers in the night. I must say, I was a match for one, and perhaps two, but the others could have descended upon our companions had not Heinrich materialized. I certainly hope they do not come back, for their sake more than ours.
Okay. Let's go oratory and panache. Actually, oratory and wits, because you were trying to talk around the worst of it.
Cool. Difficulty?
Let's make it a 20.
Okay. I'm going to take one raise.
Okay, going for a 25. Oh, 2 10s
24
though.
and 2 10s. Love it.
We figured out where all of Alexander's 10s earlier went. Everybody else is rolling them.
So that's a 35.
35, very good. All right. You are able to, you clearly get Sylvia's interest. The man next to her, who you have now been introduced to, and you realize is a part of her family, Pierre, engages lightly in the conversation. Diane, can tell that there is more going on than is being said. More that went on than is being said, and you could see her kind of shooting Heinrich the occasional look, like what is he talking about, without actually saying anything. But at the very least, you have piqued Sylvia's interest, though you suspect it is less about Heinrich and more about she wants to. When you said that you were a match for 2 men with swords, she is interested in the probably the mystique and the danger that presents, especially because you are kind of an unknown quantity in her world.
Perfect. But yeah, also Heinrich gets to look at in the story.
Yes. He doesn't look bad, except maybe to Diane, who rolled much higher than you. And can tell that there is more to it that you're not saying. But she's not going to out him because it's Diane and she's here to look good.
Yeah.
All right. As this is happening, there is a flurry of activity at the door. And just beyond the door, Alexander, you kind of get a look at what's happening because you are outside talking to people. When another carriage approaches, but it is flanked by multiple horses, multiple men on horseback, all of them in the uniforms of the Lightning Guard. It is the multiple horse riders that kind of get your attention more than the carriage. Carriages have been in and out all evening. You kind of glance up and you realize that there is really only two maybe, well, probably more than two, but only two likely people in existence who would be showing up with this sort of what do you call it? Entourage, yes. I was going to say pomp and circumstance, but that's not right.
Begging your pardon, madame and monsieur, I'm not certain of the local custom, but I believe we should probably form a line.
One of the women looks over and goes, we should return to the party and not be outside gawking.
Oh, well. Lead on.
And the group of them hurry inside to be a part of the adoring crowd that welcomes whatever royalty has just pulled up and is on their way in. Somebody seems to give the players like the signal to lower the volume and then kind of taper off, and they do, and they begin to.
Thank you for watching Opus de Requiem. If you enjoy this story, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to follow more of our content. You can find all of our actual plays on our website at www.hollowedhavenstudios.com. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/hollowedhavenstudios. Your support helps make more stories like this possible.
The general din of noise in the party quiets down immediately as the major domo kind of cracks the end of a almost looks like a staff that he has on the floor to get everyone's attention, and all heads turn towards the doorway of the primary room that most people are in, where he steps up and begins to announce, Morella du Montaigne, Imperatrice of Montaigne, and Dominique du Montaigne, Princess of Montaigne. There is immediately a bunch of people trying very hard to be quiet, but a bunch of whispers going up among the crowd. And as a woman in as these two women step into the doorway, these big open French doors, everybody in the room drops into a bow or a curtsy. Their heads are bowed. Morella is obviously older, dark-haired, beautiful. However, she is beautiful, but is at the stage where age is beginning to be a thing that has is leaving its mark on her. She is wearing an odd gown because it is strega black, but it is in Montaigne fashion, and dotted and lined with gold thread and beading. Her daughter is probably a year or two older than Lucia. She's quite young, but everybody here knows this doesn't require a roll. She's already married. In fact, she married the hero of Montaigne, Montague, who is currently serving on the front lines against Castile. I would like anybody who would like to and has it to make a wits and cold read check. This is going to be a target number 25. I will allow Alexander to use wits and diagnosis.
Instead of this, I think as soon as the chaos kicks up and Alonso clocks what's probably happening, he slips out of the party and goes to where we're securing the dresses so that nothing can go wrong with what the next part of our plan. Also conveniently avoids having to bow to mundane nobility.
Target number?
25.
25.
Ah, good.
There were a lot of 10s that happened, so I'm going to go down the list and have people give me their final numbers. And I'm going to ask Alonso to make some sort of a roll to try and get out of the room without being noticed.
Stealth?
Because you snubbed royalty, my guy. Yeah, let's go finesse and stealth. I'm not going to give you a target number. I just want to know what you hit, so you can add as many drama dice as you would like.
Okay.
Because it's a contested roll. So, all right. For those looking to do the cold read roll, what did you get? We'll start with Heinrich.
Failed at 14.
Okay. Lucia.
29.
Viviana.
32.
Excellent. Alexander.
36.
Okay. And Alonso, how many drama dice are you rolling?
I spent 2, but one of them was a 10, so I got a 5 on top of that for a total of 24, 34, 48.
All right. Alonso is able to slip easily through the crowd just before the announcement happens and out the door before anyone notices that he is snubbing royalty.
Oosh, got away with it.
Heinrich, it's royalty. This is awkward. There was a part of you, maybe deep down, that really didn't want them to show up, even though you needed that to happen for the plan. So now that they're here, you're like, well, fuck.
Of course.
Lucia, there is something about the princess that it just doesn't seem right. You can't put your finger on it. But you could tell that there is something going on with her that just, you don't know if it looks weird or if you just have a bad feeling in the pit of your stomach, because there definitely wasn't a plan for the princess to show up. Most people around you don't seem to notice, so you know that you are picking up on things that other people are not. Viviana and Alexander, you both notice immediately, and maybe even look across the room and lock eyes for a second. The princess is pregnant and trying to hide it.
How long ago was their wedding?
I mean, she's already married. Just to be clear, that part isn't a scandal, the fact that she's pregnant. But it is odd that they are hiding it. And that there has been no formal announcement as far as any of you are aware. That is something that would absolutely have been talked about by the gossips. Trying to think of how to word this. There is a gaggle of noble women of various standings who, as the two of them walk in and kind of grace the room with a look, eventually, after a kind of protracted, long moment where it is everybody is being polite by not getting up and not moving, there are a gaggle of noblewomen who kind of fall in around them. And those of you who are from noble backgrounds, you get the feeling that this is ladies in waiting, who are falling into their roles as their the entourages of two royal women. The Emperatrix doesn't say anything. She just sort of gives like this barely noticeable cant of her head. And the music starts back up and people begin to fall back into the chatter of socializing. Lucia, roll me a raw resolve check, please. No target number. I just want to see how you deal with things. And you can spend as many drama dice as you would like.
Okay. All right, we're at 29. I'm going to spend 1 drama die.
Okay.
Uh, 35.
Okay. I have a question. Because you rolled so very, very well, you hear a melody begin to start playing in your head. It is kind of come and gone, lingered in the back of your subconscious. Basically, since last time you heard it, it's never fully gone away, but it is much more loud and present now. You can kind of compartmentalize it and acknowledge that it's there, but not really pay it any attention and continue on about your time, or you can lean into it. What would you like to do?
I haven't heard this melody in a second. Strange that it's coming from her, that it's coming with her presence. We're gonna lean into it.
Okay.
May I ask one more thing?
Sure.
Lucia's been spending most of this party trying to be present, so anyone who thinks on it is like, oh, I saw her there, but not memorable in any other way. Can I find a sort of out-of-the-way place to get a look at the Empress and maybe to get a look at the Empress kind of privately, because I might want to do a magic about it.
Okay, so here's the thing. You are leaning into the music.
Okay, I can't do anything else.
If you're going to lean into the music, doing magic and stuff like that is not going to happen immediately.
All right, I'm still going to find
I will allow you to get an
place.
out-of-the-way place as you were doing it, though. That's
okay,
fine.
that I will do.
Okay. I would like you to roll me wits and unobtrusive. Just target number 15, because you are far from the center of attention here.
21.
All right, pretty good. You are able to slip away from most of the crowd and find your way into a little nook that you know is mostly there for the servants to store like trays of canapes and stuff like that. There's nobody in here at the moment. It's mostly empty. So you step in to get out of everybody else's direct line of sight, unless they're looking for you. What is everybody else doing?
I catch a glimpse of the Emperor, the Empress, and the Princess, and I immediately want to know... Oh, the Emperor is not here?
No, just the Emperatrix and the Princess.
Oh, well, I look at them, and I'd like to ask if either of them are heroes, villains, or scoundrels. Just...
They are both heroes.
Okay, good to know.
Heinrich, when they come in, Heinrich, being the host, is obligated to greet them, but he'll kind of look over at Viviana and kind of tilt his head in their direction, and then he will steer Diane over with him to greet them, kind of passing near Viviana while he's on his way.
Okay. Alexander.
I'm doing the height check. Whose height is she closest to?
Okay.
Thank goodness.
She is, from what you can tell, probably closer to Lucia's height.
Okay.
So she is
Then
on the petite side.
Then, much to my dismay, all things considered, I need to find Lucia.
Well, yeah, which is wild because you don't know where she is. You turn because you had her in your line of sight just a few seconds ago, and as you turned, she is gone.
Okay.
She had the option. I'm sorry. I'm just going with what my players tell me they're doing.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
There's still time. There's still time.
You guys, our plan fell apart at step 0.5.
No, we haven't. Hold on. Just give it a second. Give it a second.
Unless, like, Lucia has another brain aneurysm from the music or something, you know.
I'm not gonna have an aneurysm.
Lucia. So tell me what. So you step into this little alcove to get out of the immediate line of sight of everybody else at the party. Are you planning to, like, are you looking out into the party? Are you just like here to see what happens when you lean into the music? Like, how are you handling this so that I understand how I need to describe things?
Okay. Lucia knows that they have a plan. So she's also sort of trying to size up the Empress. I think... God, and the music is right there.
Oh yeah, the music, because you did not immediately block it out, is getting progressively louder in your head. You are less and less able to ignore it.
Can I see the golden thread with that?
You can see it wrapped around yourself, yes.
And the rest of our party?
I mean, you're in a little room away from most of the party, Boo. It's hard to see when there's that many people in the room.
True. Lucia's gonna wait a moment to see what the music is up to, like what if anything changes with the music. But she knows there is a thing that has to happen, so she's going to try not to stay awake too long. She knows there's an amount of dances that she needs that we kind of can wait for.
Okay. You are standing in the alcove. You are looking out over the party for the moment, and as you are doing so, the music gets louder and louder and harder to block out. It's strange though, because you have heard it. You have heard it be kind of happy and peaceful. You have even heard it have moments of kind of sadness. The only thing you can describe from what is happening in your head right now is a sense of alarm and foreboding. I need you to roll me your resolve and arcana.
All right, that's 21. I'm gonna spend some drama die.
Okay.
Or do I not want to succeed? Shit.
You want to succeed.
It would be interesting.
It would be interesting if you
27?
failed, but you want to succeed.
27. I'm gonna roll one more drama die. Oh my god.
That's heartbreaking.
28. I have 2 more left. I'm gonna have to do something real stupid later.
We have faith in you.
Yeah, both ways.
All right. 30. fuck, I can't do math. 35?
That's fine. You've surpassed 30, which is the important part.
One drama die remaining.
You force yourself to kind of grab hold of so the music has always kind of been there, and it's one of those things that you know that if you try and focus on it, you tend to lose it, and it's hard to remember anything. And so what ends up happening is you wrap yourself up in it without it's one of those things that it's like wrapping yourself in a blanket without ever looking at the blanket. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You're not paying attention to any specifics about it. What you are paying attention to is how it makes you feel. And as you do that, you cast your sight out into the room, into the greater room that everybody is in. And you can see that thin gold thread is wrapped around a number of people in the room. Half of them are people that you've never met. Or half of them are people that you've never seen before. Some of them are people that you saw at like that big party that you went to some time back. There are, like Alexander passes by at one point and you can kind of see the thread on him. He looks like he's looking for something. That's weird, but whatever.
I was like, can I snag him now?
Nope. No, you cannot. You realize after a moment that you have no real control over your body, no ability to move. All you can do is see. And you are just drowning in like sensory overload for a minute. You are seeing numerous threads, and that's not something you've ever been able to do before. And they're all this gold thread. And then you notice something weird. One of the gold threads, and actually it's one that is coming from you, begins to branch out and snake across the room like it is looking to wrap around somebody. And you have a moment where you're like, oh no, I've spread it to somebody else and I don't even know what it does. But before you can do anything, it finds the Imperatrix and begins to kind of snake around her and wraps around her, and that seems all fine and well, and she doesn't seem to notice. And then it gets to the tip of her hand where she has placed it on the forearm of her daughter, and it stops. Like it can't go any further. And you watch as the end of it that ends over her fingertips begins to turn from gold to a deep, deep red. And then the red begins to spread back along gold of the thread.
What?
And the music is deafening. You can't hear anything else for the moment.
Huh. I can't move, right?
Nope.
At all.
Nope. Not for the moment. Alexander.
Yes.
I would like you to make me a wits roll.
Okay. Is this a perception check?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will throw my keen senses at it.
Yes.
Target number.
20.
Okay. $24.
All right. It takes a hot minute, but eventually, kind of on a whim, because you have looked through the bulk of the crowd and you're just not seeing anybody. And then, kind of on a whim, you go and you turn to I don't know. Maybe you're like, I'm thirsty. I'm gonna grab a drink before I continue this hapless search. And as you do so, you step into one of the alcoves where you know some of the where the servants have stashed some of their trays, and you find Lucia standing there, and she is wide-eyed, and almost looks like she's not entirely aware of what's going on around her. Her body is rigid.
I take her gently by the elbow.
She does not move at your touch.
I run my hand down her arm to check her pulse.
She has a pulse. It is racing.
Okay. Julieta. And I will snap my fingers in front of her face.
There is the slightest flicker of in her eyes, like she is trying to look at you, and seems aware that you are there, but it's like she can't react.
And I will take her by the shoulders and turn her around to look at me.
Lucia.
Hi.
Raw resolve check, please. No target number, just roll. You can throw your drama die at it if you want.
$20.
It takes about 30 to 45 seconds of active hard work before you are able to regain mobility in your limbs, and your face is able to relax. And you can talk to Dr. Hutcheson, who is standing in front of you, looking concerned.
Signorina, are you all right? What's the matter? What's wrong?
I don't know that I can explain it, and I do not think that we can explain it here. I think it is time for the dress.
It is. So, here's what I want you to do. Go find Gunther, tell him you are feeling poorly, and ask if he would escort you upstairs. Just do it discreetly. As long as it's just you and a servant, no one should notice. And go get changed.
Echo. Lucia's going to move with haste.
Okay. You move. As you leave the little alcove, you get a slightly better look. You just can't help yourself. You kind of glance back at where the threads have been. You don't see your thread or anyone else's thread anymore, but you do see the thread that is wrapped around the Imperatrix, and seems like it is trying to wrap around the princess and is unable to do so, and that red has spread all the further. And then you are out of the door of the main party room and have flagged down Gunther, who looks at you with concern because you look a little pale. Ma'am?
I am not feeling particularly well. I think I might need to lie down. Corsets are so tight.
I understand. Follow me, and he will begin to lead you towards one of like the back staircases. It's not quite a servant staircase, but it's one of the ones that is less in everybody's view. And you are able to get upstairs, and you arrive at around the time that Alonso looks like he is ready to
Yeah, come looking.
Yeah.
Lucia,
See?
good. What kept you?
I do not know that I could explain it, nor that would you want to hear the answer. Can we go inside?
I'm not going inside, but yes, absolutely.
I
hold the door for her.
Alonso?
Yes.
I need you to come inside with me.
Gunther
Why?
kind of blinks at what is being talked about, and then turns and walks away like he doesn't want to know.
Good man.
Lucia, why?
I'm going to walk in and
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
two things. One, these dresses can't get into them on your own. Just throwing that out there. Two, when they get inside, Lucia will close the door and move away from it and start to change. I think, like, kind of move to a place where she can change.
There's a screen in the room. There usually are. You could step behind the screen to start removing the overlayers of your dress.
Alonso, I'm going to say a lot of things, and I just need you to listen to them without judgment.
You want me to? I will do my best.
That's all you can do. The song is back.
Merde.
It's something different. It's something about the Empress.
The song is about the Empress.
Let me make sure I have this right. The gold thread I have seen connecting all of us seems to end at the Empress, but is turning red.
Kinda,
No.
yeah.
It wraps around the Empress and ends at her daughter.
It doesn't get to her daughter. It gets to the tip of the Empress's finger.
I do
So
not.
Both interpretations are possibilities, but
Yes, so Lucia will convey that the gold thread that I have seen, it is attached to the Empress, which could mean anything, but worse, not worse, but it is turning red.
Let's see.
A conflict, a relationship of conflict.
A relationship.
Everyone has relationships, see?
Yes, we're all sort of in relationships to one another.
Everyone has a relationship to someone else. I am trying to explain that enmity, conflict.
Passion?
No, that is blue.
What? I'm sorry.
Can you... And Lucia will step out, and she's mostly got the dress on. Can you lace?
Uh-huh. Starts lacing up the dress.
I won't make you roll for that, although it would be very funny.
I do not... I do not know what this means. Only that... I do not know what the gold means, but I do know that we should be... It could mean that she is just losing patience with the situation. But it could be worse.
Wait. Gold is new
Gold is new
since the music.
since the music.
You see him
Alonso?
get a stern look on his face.
Alonso,
See?
knowing what I have just told you, I'm going to ask you something. And I understand that is going to be very, very hypocritical.
Yes.
Please be alert tonight, but do not do anything stupid.
You have asked of me only what I intend already.
Whatever happens next is not about hurt, pride, or foolish risk. Something very serious is happening.
Yes. We are committing an extremely dangerous crime.
In addition to that,
Right. So the addition, the song and the threads, these things that seem to occupy you very much right now. Look at me. You have to convince the Imperatrix that we are her allies, that she should invite us to a ball, and that we are going to take her safely from that ball. You will do this in private. You must make an impression. Stop thinking about music. Start thinking about this.
Lucia wrinkles her nose. Hold on.
I am gonna give Alonso a dromedary for that because that was very well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, if Lucia is dressed, is Alexander going to meet us?
He gets you laced into the dress. And there is a veil nearby for you to don.
I think Alonso would notice this as Lucia as the dress gets fully laced up, and especially after the veil goes on, her demeanor changes entirely.
I'm gonna give you a dromedary. I want a monologue.
Very much like when she first came to Montaigne and Charouz and went to that very first party and sort of had to steel herself to be in this completely new and terrifying space. Lucia has breathe in her head. She is trying so hard not to panic, partially because of the music, which has not helped, but the dress is she promised she would never wear the dress, and she's doing that, and it's heavy and covered in embroidery and and not an ostentatious amount of finery, but it's enough. And she is trying so hard to keep it together. But also, there's a little bit of comfort in putting the gown back on, the black back on, and honestly, and part of her demeanor changing when she pulls the veil over her face is that she is safe back there. All of her having her big wide Bambi eyes or whatever, that and having people see her all the time, she's starting to feel and kind of remember that she didn't like being here, but it's what she knows, and that's comfortable, if nothing else. And I think as she picks up and puts the veil on, Alonso might notice a card fall out.
Alonso, there's a card on the floor.
He's gonna pick it up.
What card is it?
It is a very nice, almost it looks like an invitation. And handwritten on it, it just says, "To complement the beauty of the wearer beneath it. MV."
I'll let Alonso draw what conclusions he wants to draw from that. Lucia, you are... Oh, sorry.
He's gonna set it aside. Are you ready?
I have to be.
Would you like to pray first?
Yes.
All right. The two of you bow your heads and begin to pray. Downstairs, Viviana, Sémø has had to make her way over to the Imperatrix and the princess, as they are now the most important people in the room, leaving you in her wake as somebody who does not have the reputation to be able to just approach royalty. As that happens, there is a light brush of a hand at your elbow, and you are aware of somebody standing next to you, but not facing you.
Viviana will say under her breath, I was wondering when you would show up.
I've been here the whole time, but you've been busy. Wasn't looking to draw too much attention to myself.
Yes, sometimes I wonder what a life with that approach might have brought me.
Is there anything you need from me for the night? Or am I just here to help make sure that there's no trouble? Guessing you're not going to try and do what you plan to do tonight of all nights.
No, not tonight. Making sure there is no trouble is good. I assume there is no way for... I have plans of my own, and I assume there is no way for you to help with them.
It depends on your plans. You'll find I'm well equipped.
Well, I do need to make an impression. I figured the best way to do that was to sing the song to end all songs.
She kind of glances over. I could sing, but I'm not entirely sure you need me helping to get any more attention. You've got performers who are quite skilled as well already.
Yes, so if you could continue to make sure that there is, how good are you at gossip?
She kind of gives a smile. I'm adept. Why?
There is going to be a woman dressed in a black veil who comes in not too long from now, and there will be rumors spread about her. She is going to dance with somebody who is notorious, and I want you to make sure that those rumors circulate. I want you to help with that, if you can.
I think I can manage.
Thank you.
She kind of nods a little bit and looks back over the room, and for a moment you're pretty sure she's about to walk away, and then she hesitates. You should find me after the party.
I will.
I have news we can't talk here.
I will see you.
She gives you a little half curtsy and turns away. And you notice as she turns away, and you can kind of glance her like properly. She is in a beautiful green. It's in Montaigne fashion, but whoever picked this particular shade of green knew that they were making this gown for her. She, it offsets her hair perfectly. It's got slashes of like cream-colored silk through it, and silvery thread. It is either she's always had this, or whoever pays for her to do things, or she just has a lot of money, and she hired probably one of the better seamstresses in the city to make it. And she moves surprisingly delicately, very feminine, considering what you have seen her manage in the past.
Viviana adds one more thing to the list of things that she likes about Quiva.
And she makes her way over to a handsome man, probably in his like 30s, maybe early 40s, but he, he has one of those faces that he is either much older than he looks and just ages impeccably, or is just very, very good looking for you know what I mean? He's got like one of those ageless faces, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And he smiles widely when he sees her, and the two immediately fall into easy communication and socializing.
After this conversation, Viviana will make her way over to the musicians.
Okay. What are you planning to do there?
She is going to request a particular song. See if they know it. It is Vodachin, and it is about love.
They probably know it, yeah.
And she will just request that they play that now, and that ask if she might be permitted to sing with them for it.
Okay. Well, we're gonna pause that for a minute, and I'm gonna see what Alexander's up to.
Alexander was going to try to talk to Viviana, but she is clearly occupied. So he's waiting to see
there were times where she was just standing there and you could see her standing next to Quiva. You could have gone over at that point.
Okay. Just to whisper in her ear before she goes, my dance partner will be down soon. All goes well. It will be probably your best opportunity to speak to our guest without other eyes on you.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay, so with that in mind, do you still want to go over and ask to sing? Or are you just going to ask them to play the song?
She's still gonna ask to sing.
Okay. It's going to be hard for you to both sing and find your way over to the Empress.
You said hard, not impossible.
Practically impossible, Viviana. Like, let's be real. You can't have a conversation and be in front of a crowd singing at the same time.
Okay. She will. You know what? She'll see if she can talk to the Imperatrix first.
Okay. Just to throw it out there, for Alexander and Viviana, because they saw her head back over to the man. She is with a man who has a fairly good reputation, and is standing next to a woman who looks remarkably like him. The woman, well, I shouldn't say the man has the reputation. The woman has the reputation. You both recognize Anne Dubois du Arent, who is probably almost as popular as Sémø. She is one of those people who is so lovely to have at parties that she kind of has standing invitations to any party she wants to go to in Montaigne. And the woman that Quiva kind of falls in beside and starts chatting up, or the man who she falls in beside and starts chatting up, is next to her and looks a lot like her, like they might be related. All right, Heinrich, are you doing anything in particular?
Yes.
You've been introduced to the Imperatrix and the princess.
Well, on the way, my plan was to collect Viviana and bring her with me.
Well, Viviana is sorry. Did you change your mind to go try and talk to the Imperatrix?
Yeah, I changed my mind. I decided, save the song for later. I will go find a place where once Alexander has started his mission of sorts, I will be able to find a way to talk to the Imperatrix.
Okay, you can see Viviana has already kind of positioned herself nearby, but is not approaching for the moment.
Okay.
And you are aware that you're allowed to approach for two reasons. You're allowed to approach because this is your home and you are the guest, or you are the host, so it is only polite for you to introduce yourself, and because you are on the arm of Diane, or Diane's on your arm.
Okay. So yeah, Heinrich approaches the Empress. He bows very deeply and with all sincerity, says, "Your Grace, you do me great honor by attending my humble home, and I wish to express my sincere gratitude for you and your husband for allowing me to join your nation. At the end of the war, your husband could have stripped me of my title and granted my lands to a son of Montaigne, but I am deeply in your debt for your generosity and permitting me to stay, and also for attending my humble party. Now, I also, if you would like, I would over in the evening. I would like to introduce you to two of my dear companions, and he will kind of gesture to the side towards Viviana. When the opportunity presents itself, I would like to introduce you to my companion Francesca, as well as the renowned scholar Dr. Alexander Hutcheson, who is attending as well.
She doesn't look at you directly, but she does speak. We congratulate you on your approaching nuptials.
Thank you, Your Grace.
And then there is a kind of half dismissive like wave of her hand, like, okay, we're done now.
And taking the hint, Heinrich will leave.
All right. I believe I have talked to everybody about what their plan is. Yes?
Yes.
Alexander, where are you positioning yourself for when your quote unquote date shows up?
So they're going to be coming down from the second floor. So,
Down the grand staircase, yes.
right. So I'm going to put myself where I can cross in front of a bunch of people to meet her in sort of the middle of the floor as she reaches the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. You are easily able to do that. Upstairs, the prayer wraps up. Lucia, it's time. You are cloaked in the black velvet and silk of a noble strega. It is one of the finest gowns and handmade veils you've ever worn, despite how wealthy your family is. This is a level of wealth and finery that you really hadn't had before.
I think Alonso is going to walk her down the hall and then just stop before he would be within view of the party proper. So there's maybe a dozen feet where Lucia has to be completely alone before she has any eyes on her. Good luck.
Lucia just nods and starts heading down the stairs.
Okay. I won't make you roll to see if you can get down the stairs without falling. I thought about it, but I won't. I'm not.
Please.
Come on, them feet.
Stressed.
I had the thought. OT. Them feet, though.
Oh my god!
You begin to descend the stairs. You can hear before you even hit the halfway point on the stairs, you can hear there is a pause where all of the conversation in the room seems to go a little bit quiet for just a second, and then there are whispers going up around where people are questioning who's that, where'd she come from, who's she here for, so on and so forth.
And Alexander raises his voice to say, "Te voilà." And then in Vodace, "There you are."
Lucia will go straight to Alexander.
He meets you at the bottom of the stairs, hand outstretched. And as if on cue, the music in the main room swaps to a Vodachan song. Not quite the same one that Viviana had in mind, but similar.
So what we're going to dance is something like a gavotte with a few minor differences. So I bring her out to a space where we can dance, raise her hand as though I'm going to kiss her knuckles, but I turn her hand over to kiss her wrist right where the palm of her hand meets her arm. And then as we step into the dance, the times where we're supposed to sort of spin past one another, I get a little closer than is normally done in a gavotte to let my hand come up and rest on on her lower back. And the whole design of it is to make her feel like she is the only person in the room, to make everyone in the room wish that anyone would look at them the way that Alexander is looking at this woman, seeming to make eye contact even though no one can really see her eyes.
Okay. I'm going to ask for a couple of rolls.
Sure.
The first thing I'm going to want, understanding that you are not actually trying to seduce her, but you have to put on the play of seducing her.
Yep.
I would like a panache and seduction roll.
Sure.
I would also like a wits and gossip roll. And I'm going to give you 2 extra unkept dice for the gossip roll because you have somebody in the crowd who is helping to stir shit up.
Okay. What's my target number for the seduction roll?
Let's make that a 20. And if you take raises, you'll be ever more convincing. And maybe the rumors will be a little bit more salacious.
I'm going to take 3 raises.
Holy Jesus. Okay, we're aiming for 35?
Yep.
Fantastic.
So this is... So we start here. Is that right? That is right. And I'm going to throw one. I still have my 2 reputation dice. I'm going to throw one of them in here.
Okay, do it.
Because that's part of the scandal, is that I'm this famous
Avalonian author who hates the church, and you're in love with Estrega? Yeah. Oh, so close.
All right. I have 7 drama dice.
Oh, thank God.
One more.
Wow, gave you exactly what you needed.
Yep.
The drama dice were like, fine, if we must.
Yep.
So that's a 35 exactly for the seduction. Yep. Lucia, you are aware that he's not actually trying to seduce you, but your heart's a little fluttery.
Lucia has Lucia's dissociated. No, I think she, for a second, and because she trusts Alexander and all of this, kind of lets herself for a second step into the Cinderella role like all of her favorite stories. She's like, you know what? Let's do this.
This is almost exactly what you dreamed of when you were supposed to marry Henri and you imagined your first meeting.
Crazy, it's Alexander. Anyway.
Yep. All right, Alexander, I'm gonna need your wits and gossip with 2 extra unkept dice, please.
Okay. I'm going to throw my other reputation die at this roll.
Okay.
Target number.
You did so well on the seduction, so 20 is your target number to kick stuff off. Every raise above that will get you will get you more. Spread it further.
All right. I've spent 2, so I have 5 drama dice left. And I need all eyes on me so that Viviana can do her thing. 4 raises.
Okay, so we're going for 40?
Yep. And there's a 42 up the top.
Reroll those 10s, Boo Boo.
I'm gonna puke.
You'll be fine.
So that's a 53.
That's wild. Okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah. You don't have to look at the crowd. You can feel that you have them eating out of your palm. All eyes are on this display. Everybody else has stopped dancing. It is just the 2 of you on the dance floor. And you can hear the occasional whisper as you're passing by. People who want to know who that is. People who want to know if anybody else had realized that Dr. Hutcheson was in love with a Strega the whole time. You even hear the occasional like fluttery sigh from young noblewomen who dream of that sort of romance and that sort of gaze from the man that they love.
I am absolutely sidling up to the Imperatrix.
I figured. You Viviana, watch this and realize that now is your moment. And slide up next to the Imperatrix.
Viviana says under her breath as people are still whispering and watching.
Dominique, for what it's worth, is down in the crowd chatting with people, being social.
Okay. She says, sort of as she sidles up to her, just sort of trying not to draw much attention to herself, as all eyes are on Alexander, and she says, "Your need was noticed."
Her head kind of... She gives a very subtle kind of... It's not quite an up nod, but it is a lifting of her chin to show that she is listening. She's not looking at you. She's staring out over the crowd, being the disinterested monarch, but you can tell that you have her attention.
We need an heirs on Groth, and his associates will require invitations to a gathering that you are going to attend.
Her fan comes up and sort of flutters in front of her face. And you get a... very quiet response. We will ensure that the appropriate invitations are sent out.
Thank you, Your Grace. And then she will make her way away before anybody notices that a seemingly random person, pretty but random, is talking to the fucking Empress.
Gotcha. Well, fortunately, Alexander has done a fantastic job of commanding the attention of the room, and almost nobody is looking at the Empress anymore. And you are able to slip away with ease.
Yes, what Viviana will do now is now that she has taken care of the most important thing on her plate, now she will go over to the musicians and request the song about love.
All right. They agree. Macaulay sort of nods, and you are gestured up next to Fritzy, who smiles and whispers, "I will compliment you."
I appreciate that.
And you, I would like to give me a panache and singing roll. I'm not going to give you your stunning advantage on this particular one because nobody's looking at you at the moment.
That is fine.
I will,
I
however,
have
give you an extra unkept dice because Fritzy is helping.
Okay. One question about taking raises for this. So, would I be drawing attention away from Alexander, or would I be able to sing beautifully enough that it just complements what is happening?
I'd say you with as well as he has rolled, it would be hard for you to take attention away. So I will say that you could do this in a way that is meant to complement and not detract or distract.
Okay. What is my target number?
Let's make that a 20.
I'm tempted to take 4 raises.
Fucking go.
I'm taking 4 raises. I'm taking
Okay.
4 raises. I'm doing it.
So that's a 30 with a 10. So reroll your 10. So that's a 33.
I will start using my drama dice. I have 7 of them.
Jesus.
Oh, well.
For 40 on the dot. All right. Okay. It is a shift. There is a shift as the music changes, and these two angelic voices lift up over the din of the crowd. And Lucia, you are in a story. That's what this feels like. For a minute, all of your anxieties fall away. The music that has been pounding away at your subconscious seems to fade into the background. And even though this is not Henri, this is not the man that you love, for a minute, it doesn't matter. You are the heroine of your own love story in the middle of this crowd of strangers. And you are floating on air. Alexander is an excellent dancer, and the music is perfect. It's everything you wanted when you were daydreaming about your first ball with Henri when you were younger.
I will say, is there any way for me to catch Jame's eye in the midst of all of this?
No, only because I feel like that would be detracting from Alexander's roles.
That's fair.
And I must say, this seems like the second song, and I put someone, and I'm second on someone's dance card.
You are.
So while this performance is going on, and I'm pretty jealous of Alexander, I'm gonna go find Nicola, and we will join the dance.
Excellent. All right. Now I have to look at your sheet, because I didn't think I was going to have to make you roll during this particular thing. What do you have? You do have dancing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Not
yeah,
bad at it.
let's go finesse and dancing. You're not looking to get everybody's attention. You are here to dance with the pretty girl. She's the only one who matters right now.
Mm-hmm. Let's make her feel like a princess, too. What's my difficulty?
20.
All right. Not trying to showboat, so I'll take 2 raises.
Not trying to showboat, just a casual 30 target number. Oh, so close. That's a
And a
20.
drama. There we go.
For 30 on the dot. You sweep Nicola into your arms. She looks a little shocked that you are intruding on this moment that's happening on the dance floor, but then she only has eyes for you and is happy to go along with it. Heinrich?
Yes.
I would like you to roll me a... you don't have perception anymore, do you?
Nope.
Because we found out that wasn't really a thing.
Yes, we did.
Let's go with... This is such a weird thing to use. Let's go with... Wits and tracking?
Okay.
I just want to see if you clock what's happening with Nicola, or if you are so caught up in the moment.
18.
Well, you didn't wait for a target number. And your 10 explodes.
$21.
All right. Yes, you do look over in time to see Alonso and Nicola moving. Alonso's a very good dancer, and Nicola is moon-eyed at him. For all the distraction in the room, she only has eyes for the man she is dancing with. And there is a pretty blush on her cheeks.
It's filed away for some later conversations. And after that, seeing that, he will ask Diane to dance and kind of move her over near to Alonso and Nicola so he can keep an eye on them.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Yeah, give me finesse and dancing, please. We're gonna go target number 15. No, target number... target number 15, because you're not trying to make her feel overly special. You just are going to dance now that it seems like there's permission for more people to join in.
I mean, he's gonna do his best, but...
If you are looking to make her feel like a princess, I'm gonna up it to 20.
Okay. What do I have here? We've got 3. I only have 1 dot in dancing. Yeah, he's going to try and be a good dancer.
All right. 20 it is.
And we will utterly waste a drama die on that just because.
Yes, impressing your fiance is such a fucking waste.
Okay, got it.
All right. At a 21, you are able to not only dance well enough that Diane seems pleasantly surprised. She's surprised that you're dancing at all, but she's especially surprised that you are good at it. And you are able to keep an eye on Alexander and Nicola out of the corner of your eye the whole time.
I'm sorry. I know.
Alonso.
I'm sorry. Alonso and Nicola. I'm looking at Alexander's sheet. I'm sorry.
I'm in enough hot water as it is.
Alonso and Nicola, you are able to keep an eye on them out of the corner of your eye at the same time. My bad.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else anyone is doing in these moments before the dances wrap up?
Once a sufficient number of people have joined the dance floor, I am going to sweep Lucia over to Gunther, ask Gunther to take her out to the front and then around the back so she can come back up to the servants' entrance, go back to her room and change.
Are you telling Gunther that that's the plan for her, or are you
Yes.
just ask? Okay.
I will. No, I will. I will explain it to Gunther in Eisen.
Okay. Gunther looks shocked that that's Lucia, and looks very confused by the choice to have Lucia in Estrega's outfit at the dance, and nobody knows that it's her, but doesn't question it. He just sort of gives a little nod, offers Lucia his arm, so that she has someone to hold on to it, isn't, potentially risking falling on her face if she trips over her skirts, and leads her out the front door.
So that by the time the gavotte is done and everyone breaks up again, she's just gone.
Excellent. Lucia, are you doing anything, or are you just going to go along with it?
I think I'm deciding how wrecked Lucia is. Lucia's going to take the opportunity while she's completely veiled to continue scanning the room again and see if she just get another lay of the land based on what Raoul has said and see what she can hear on the way out. She's just getting a vibe check, I guess.
Okay. Make me a wits and gossip roll. Target number 15, because this is not going to be a hard thing to get a read for. Yeah, you can tell that went off as a smash hit. Everybody wants to know who you are and where you came from. And why didn't anybody know that Dr. Hutcheson is in love with Estrega? And what Strega managed to get to Montaigne without anyone knowing about it?
Lucia fights the urge to leave a shoe, but heads back up with Heinrich, with Gunther.
Gunther. All right. Alonso.
Mm-hmm.
The dance wraps up.
Alonso, thanks, Nicola. That was very enjoyable. Thank you for the dance.
Yes, it was. I look forward to the next one.
Indeed, I am done for the 5th, yes?
Yes.
I shall see you in a few minutes then. Ooh. Do I want to be a bastard for drama? I could be a bit of a bastard for drama.
Do it.
You mentioned that several people were really noticing Nicola as we came in.
As she entered, yes.
As she came down. Do I see any of them nearby?
Are you trying to line yourself up to duel with somebody? Because we don't have that kind of time.
I was actually lining up, since Heinrich is paying attention, I figured he could duel them, but a little bit.
Okay, we've only got 10 minutes left. We don't have that kind of time. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm gonna go. I think I'll try and get a dance with Sylvia, and then probably Lucia when she comes back, and then the last dance with Nicola again, and try to talk to Sylvia afterwards. That's my plan.
Okay. Alexander, what are you doing after your Strega companion is whisked away?
Aside from deflecting questions 1,000 ways from Sunday, I need to find Raoul.
He is not difficult to find. Raoul is off to the side with a wine glass in hand and has been watching watching things unfold. Every so often he goes out and dances with somebody. You can tell that he is on a couple of dance cards, probably for appearance's sake. But as soon as the dance is over, he returns to having a place to kind of stand and watch and drink.
and will bring over a glass of my own. I will salute him. Monsieur, I wonder, how familiar are you with the various languages of Thea?
Reasonably so. I suspect I do not speak as many as you do.
Oh, well. You have no doubt lived a more interesting life that required you to spend time away from dictionaries.
Is there something in particular you would like to know?
That last dance has left me a bit rather peaked. Maybe step outside.
Of course. And he will walk out into the courtyard with you.
It is a somewhat scandalous question, I suppose, in modern Montaigne. But how good is your Thean?
Not as good as yours, I'm afraid.
Of the languages beside your mother tongue, which would you say is your favorite?
He considers for a moment. I enjoy Castilian.
Ah.
But I would say that the one I find the most enjoyable because of its challenges is Vestal.
Indeed. The grammar of it is unique. For example, and I'm going to switch into Vendel. So, for example, if I were to tell you that we were contemplating spiriting the Imperatrix out of the kingdom, that would be a thing, wouldn't it?
His eyebrows go up. Indeed, it would be. And he takes a long drink from that glass that he's holding.
We should talk more.
I suspect you will require my help.
We will indeed.
Well, we could talk now, or we could plan a time for later.
I think later is probably the best option. I promise to keep you well stocked in wine throughout the conversation.
Very well. Tonight or tomorrow?
How much? If we leave it until the party is over, how much of it do you think you will remember?
I will remember.
Then tonight it is.
He will nod. Then we should return to the party where your adoring crowd can continue to ask about that mystery Strega you were dancing with.
Indeed.
And he returns inside with you and wanders away before he can get entrapped in one of those inane conversations that you were having to be a part of and deflect information during. All right. Viviana,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Well, now that the song that she was singing has ended, does it look like Heinrich is done dancing with Diane?
I mean, you get the feeling that they could really dance most of the night, but if you are looking to cut in, I could see that I could see them taking a break after a dance or two.
Yeah, she will cut in.
All right. Diane has kind of, or Heinrich has walked Diane back to the edge of the dance floor, and Diane has bobbed a little curtsy, thanked him for the lovely dance, and has said that she is going to go and have a seat, and she is walking away as you approach.
Heinrich.
Yes.
Might I dance with you?
Of course. I I would enjoy it greatly. And he'll lead her out onto the floor.
As they dance, I think Viviana will say, "You know, I don't think I have been able to properly express my gratitude to you." And she
Well-
gives him, she usually, like, the smiles she wears are usually tinted with a hint of mischief or something untraceable, but here she just seems very genuine.
Well, thank you, Francesca. I appreciate your words. And I have committed myself to doing what I can to assist you and Giulietta in what it is that you need to accomplish. It does not look to be an easy road, but I am committed.
No, it is not an easy road at all. And that makes you being willing to do as much as you have. It means a lot. I know I haven't said it before, but I am very grateful to have met you, Heinrich. And not just because of what you have done for me. Well, in some cases, it is also what you have done for me without knowing. You are a very anchoring person to be around.
Thank you. And as far as these plans go, unlike some of our other companions, I know I can trust you to think through these things before acting. So I will trust that you have things well in hand.
As well in hand as they can be.
All right, I do admit that you are perhaps even more taciturn about than I am. I still know very little about you.
And I know very little about you. Perhaps sometime soon we shall have to sit down and tell each other about all the roads we have walked in life.
I'm looking forward to it.
She just smiles.
And Heinrich smiles back.
And 1,000 ships were sailed that day. All right. Lucia, you are able to circle around. Gunther has a maid come in and help you out of the dress and into your other one. And then you are able to return to the party with no one really seeming to have noticed, as far as you could tell, that you were gone.
Lucia makes it like back down to the party and is like, oh, like having run upstairs, changed, and run back.
There is still a blush on your cheeks from the dance.
With the whole affair being done and with it going over, I think as well as Lucia thinks it has been, I think Lucia just starts to fill out the rest of her dance card when Alonso is done with Sylvie. She'll to have a dance with him and go back to being present but unobtrusive.
You dance with Alonso. Raul at one point approaches and reminds you that you owe him a dance as well.
Oh yeah.
He's a very good dancer. You've already found that out about him, but just as a reminder. And you are able to wrap up the night without being, while enjoying yourself with the different dances, but not being terribly obtrusive. All right. Heinrich, was there anything in particular you wanted to do before the end of the night?
No.
Okay.
Just beyond, as his main, aside from all of the skullduggery, his main goal is to just try and,
Make a good
be
impression.
a good date for Diane.
All right. I would like you to make me one more roll, because this was something that people invested in doing. and it was something that you made clear you wanted to try to pull off. I would like you to roll me Panache and Etiquette, and you can use your extra dice that Lucia's blessing gave you, because this is to see the impression that you make on your mother, your future mother.
Okay. Panache and etiquette.
Yes, I'm not going to set a target number. You can go as high as you would like if you want to add in drama dice or whatever. This is mostly to see what sort of effect you leave, or impression you leave.
Actually is a pretty good roll. Okay, 23.
23 is pretty good. Overall, it seems like you have made a positive impression.
No feet inserted into mouths, no feet stepped on the dance floor, no stains on his shirt. Yeah.
It could certainly have gone worse.
No talking about feet.
All
or
right.
the intricacies of the ice and economy, you know.
Everybody, the party wraps up and winds down for the night. Alexander and his mystery strega are the talk of the party, and you can tell that is going to be a rumor that will spread over time. People talk about the fact that the Imperatrice showed up because it's so unusual for her to show up, but it is almost an afterthought by comparison, which is wild.
Do I get to talk to Sylvia?
You are able to dance with Sylvia. Was there anything in particular you wanted to talk to her about?
As the party's winding down, I'd love for us to step out and gossip for a minute. Or, you know, I'm going to try and seduce her.
Okay. She's not going to go somewhere alone with you. But if you want to try to put the subtle moves on her in the party, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
Then let's go for panache and seduction. Target number... Thinking. Target number 20, to keep her interested, 25 or higher if you want more effect. You are, just to be clear up front, you are not going to be able to get into her pants. Not tonight.
Okay. I think their discussion turns to, when last they spoke, Alonso talked about the rules of Montaigne society and diplomacy. So as they have a little time in conversation, just the two of them, the conversation turns back to it. And Alonso mentions that often in his experience, the line between what people say and what people do can be as thin as a bedroom door.
Interesting. Okay, make your roll.
Let's see. You said a 20 to keep her interest?
A 20 to maintain interest. You could take raises if you want to woo her more than that.
I'll take 2 raises. No, I'll take 3. Let's go.
So you're going for 35?
Going for a 35. I will have to spend drama or get 10s. Let's see if the dice are on my side.
Oof. That's
Okay.
a 19.
Okay.
26? $35.
Boom.
All right. you are able to... it is very clear from the way that she talks to you and the way that she looks at you that she is very, very interested, very, very intrigued. You could tell that seeing you dance with other women had kind of banked her interest a little bit, but you have managed to stoke it again. I would like you to roll me wits and wits and socializing as the two of you kind of part ways. Target number 15.
Okay. Will a raise help me?
Yeah. It might get you more information.
Okay, I'll take one. Done.
All right. The two of you part ways, and she turns to head back towards the slightly older man that she was standing with earlier. And you turn back to the party in time to see that Nicola is on the other side of the room and looks crestfallen. And that there are tears in her eyes. And as soon as she sees you seeing her, she turns and hurries away deeper into the house.
Merde. Shit.
All right. Alexander.
Yeah.
My understanding is that you wanted to have a conversation as the party was wrapping up.
Indeed.
Or after the party wrapped up.
Indeed.
I am going to take a little bit of a liberty and say that you let one of the servants know that this was supposed to happen and asked for wine and glasses to be taken to Heinrich's study, which was closed off to the rest of the party.
Indeed.
So when you arrive, Raoul is sitting there and has already opened one of the bottles and is drinking from it. Or not from it directly, but has filled his glass.
I'm going to pull, at a minimum, Viviana into this conversation as well, if I can.
Okay.
Viviana will go.
Okay.
Monsieur Cissé du Cissé.
Monsieur Hutcheson, what can I do for you? And the beautiful, as always, Madame Francesca.
I have brought Signorina Lombardi because she is the architect of this little operation.
He looks a little bit surprised, and then kind of eyes her up and down. I could see that.
So
I should think so.
it's a simple matter. We are working to be invited to an event that the Empress will be attending, at which time the mystery woman who you saw me dance with tonight shall accompany me, and we will play a little game of, well, in Avalon we would call it switcheroo. Because if I walk in with a veiled woman that no one can see of a particular height and build, and I walk out with a veiled woman of a particular height and build that no one can see her features, no one will be the wiser.
See.
The point then is to spirit her as far away from here as we possibly can, as quickly as we can. Signorina, did you have a destination in mind?
Honestly, I have been particularly focused on the getting her away from here. The destination was not necessarily in mind. how's Avalon? And she says this like she's almost talking to herself, like, how would Avalon be?
Oh.
Could you... She turns to Raoul. Could you... I am not very familiar with the specifics of how your brand of sorcery works. Could you get us to Avalon?
Yes, but might I make a observation?
Of course.
Avalon is not very far, and is a country with which mine has tense relations as it is. It would be a poor hiding place.
That is a good point.
Well, Avalon proper might be. The Highland Marches are slightly more remote.
Oui. One would have to hope that there are no spies there that the Emperor could know about. It might not be a bad place for a temporary hiding place, perhaps.
Perhaps something temporary while we figure out something more permanent. Do you have any suggestions? You are the person who would be doing the movings, and, well, you clearly have good opinions.
He gives a little half smile, like he knows that you are trying to flatter him. Let's see. If I were going to put her somewhere... If I could get you there, I would say I'd take her to Usura. It is almost impossible to get there, though, and I'm not that gifted. The Vendel might not be a bad place for her to eventually end up. It is remote. There are islands, so there are always ways off.
Yes, then let us aim for her to at least eventually end up in Vendel.
But
If we were...
Sorry, go ahead.
If we were to go to the Triple Kingdoms, I could probably make arrangements to get her to Vendel.
I could get you and her to the northern end of Montaigne, where she could be put on a ship. If I'd had more warning, could have sent word ahead, made sure that I had an item to pull myself to. When do you plan to make this happen?
We don't have an invitation to a party yet.
We will be getting them shortly on the day, and then we will be able to give you a specific date.
I tell you what, I have a blooded item at the north end of the country, which will be a backup plan. I will send an item ahead with a servant in the morning. See if we can get it to what is your capital city, Corleone?
Corleone, yes.
See if we can get it there before we need to leave. If we can do that, that would make everything much easier.
Do you perhaps have a blooded item in Pi?
He kind of considers. Maybe. My cousin has a blooded item of mine, but whether he has it with him is a question that I cannot answer.
It just seems to me with all the embassies there, we may be able to speak directly to... I have a decent working relationship with the closest Avalon has to an ambassador. Which would facilitate booking us passage more easily. And the Emperor doesn't go there. He doesn't like it. Therefore, no one who curries his favor likes it or goes there either. And so that would probably give us maybe a night or two to make arrangements.
I will see what I can find out. You should know traveling my way is an unpleasant experience.
Well, better unpleasant than dead.
He nods. This I can agree with. You are
We are-
aware if you go through with these plans and you are caught, you will die.
Yes.
And there will be nothing I can do to help you.
Our understanding is if we do not go through with these plans, she will die.
And how do you know this?
Alexander,
No, you know what? I don't want to know. Never mind. The less I know about all of this, the better.
You're a very smart man.
He sighs. Unfortunately, mademoiselle.
we are doing our utmost to protect both your family and Heinrich's from being tainted by the scandal. The hope is to get her out and no one's the wiser until it's too late and no one can figure out how she got out at all.
We shall hope that this happens then. And he stands up, still glass in hand. Throughout the course of this conversation, he has drained most of the bottle of wine that he had opened when he came in. And he kind of steps towards the door and pauses for a moment. I never expected my life to be quite so interesting as you all have made it.
I have discovered that response has been sort of passed down person to person over the last few weeks. Happy Emperor's birthday, I suppose.
He smiles a little bit. Indeed. Is there anything else?
No, monsieur.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, on my part, you should bid me goodbye properly.
He turns, puts on a face that shows that he looks properly chastised, or at least is playing at being properly chastised. Makes his way over, scoops up your hand, and presses a long kiss to the backs of your knuckles.
That is much better.
Apologies. Forgive my rude manners. I've been given much to think about.
I will forgive you this time.
And he leans in, pecks your cheek, and then turns to go. I do have one more thing. As the three of you file out of that room and you see people like people still filing out of the party, the Imperatrix left a while ago, but the princess stayed for a little while longer. And as she is walking out, with a couple of lightning guard on either side of her, Viviana, you look over and you can see or you can feel kind of down in your core where you can tell if somebody is villain or hero, or scoundrel or anything or none of the above. You feel like somebody has kind of reached in and grabbed that core of you, and is tugging on it, where there are moments when you look at her and you could tell she's a hero, and then there are other moments where you look at her and you get the foreboding feeling that she might also be a villain. And it's like it keeps swapping back and forth.
Viviana maintains a neutral expression, but within her head, she is thinking, well, shit.